Hey, welcome live. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes for people to come in. Yeah, today we're talking about pricing. So bear with me, won't be long. Hey, welcome. Any questions? Put it in the chat. Today we're going to be talking about pricing. There's a specific comment that I want to address. Let me see if I can put it in. There we go. Well, I've put this comment in because it was posted on my feed. I want to kind of try and answer this because I know that there's a lot of people that are probably struggling with the same thing. Let me know if you can hear me all right. And if you can, thumbs up, perfect. And let me know in the comments. I'm not sure if you can hear the dog next door barking, but apologies if you can. All right, so this question. Pricing, just adjust the camera a sec. Pricing per page, especially CMS powered blog pages like main blog page and its 7 template pages. My per page price is $30. My per page price is $30. My per page price is that's a duplication. How should I charge for CMS powered pages? Please suggest for me. So it would be really easy for me to just say like add a small price on to your current price. Let me know if you can hear the dog barking, guys. Try and move the microphone over. I don't know if that's going to help at all. All right, so there's many ways that I can answer this. But what I would say is, let me explain to you how I price. Okay, I'm just going to, let me share screen. Hold on 1 second. Cool. All right, so here's my site. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about how I price. And I've gone through so many different ways of pricing. I've gone through value-based pricing. I've gone through like fixed package pricing, and now I've kind of found a middle ground, and I'll explain to you how I do this. So we're talking specifically here for custom web design. So the way that I price, let me scroll down. You can see that I've got packages. Okay, now I have a fixed price for up to 5 pages. Realize you can't see me. Maybe you can. Can I move that? I can't move this. So I have a fixed price for up to 5. Sorry, it's up to 10 pages now. Okay, so I've upped the price and I've upped the amount of pages that are included in this. So your question around what should my price per page be? Your current price per page is $30. So that's telling me if you were going to build 10 pages, you would have, that would be $300. To me, that sounds really low. Now, obviously, I don't have a lot of context right now as to like your experience. I don't have a lot of context as to where you're based. But ultimately, those shouldn't really matter too much, because it's all about the value that you bring. Okay, so you need to understand what value it is that you are bringing. So for me, I price 3,495. That is pounds. Probably works out just under like maybe $4,500. And this will get you up to 10 pages. These are custom designed pages. Okay, so we're designing and then we're building. So this does include things like a blog page. So we'd have, let me just switch back to me a sec so you can see me in more detail. So within those 10 pages, we would have the home page, we would have the about page, we would have maybe a services page, a single services page, which is a template. Okay, we build that page once, and often because it's in WordPress and it's a custom post type, we just build it once and the database spits out into many forms. You would then have maybe a contact page, you could have a blog archive page, a single blog page, maybe a get a quote page or a portfolio page, whatever it might be. Up to 10 pages fits within that 3,495. Now, as you can see, and I'll swap back, we also have an up level package, and this is 4,995, and it is also including 10 pages, but it's you get up to 20. So these are for like larger sites, all right? And this is starting fee. So that's how I price. Now let me try and explain to you how I've got there and what that includes. So anyone that's here with me, welcome, thank you for being here. And we're talking about pricing today, and specifically the question that you can see on screen, helping to address that. Any questions you've got, pop them in the chat and I will get to them, but let me just answer this one, because I feel like this one's going to be a slightly longer answer because I want it to be clear. And also what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to share some dedicated training around pricing. I have some already on YouTube, but if you haven't seen it, I'll release a new, more up-to-date one just to help. Cool. So you can see these packages. Now, I like to say that you need to understand your value. Okay, and I feel like I understand my value and what comes with my projects. So you'll see here, this is everything they get, and don't get me wrong, I'm always saying don't list out the like specs of what you get on your site. I only ever do this in the pricing section because I want people to be clear what it is that they're getting. Ultimately, we're solving their problem. That's what they're paying for. They're paying for a solution to their problem. But this is, what we're offering as a breakdown, because when people shop around, when they're price shopping, one, they want to understand that you're going to fix their problem, but they kind of want to know what they're getting for their money. And so this really just very clearly lays it out for them. This is what you're going to get. Okay. With this package, you're going to get this as well as all of that. But with the up level package, you're going to get all of this, and then you're going to get all of that. All right. It just makes it super clear. I know then what my prices are, and people that are shopping around can see how much I charge as a base rate, and then if they're happy with that price and they get in touch, we're not going to have a conversation around pricing. It's kind of just done at this point. So it helps like weed out the tire kickers and the non-fits. So types of pricing, we've got package pricing and we've got value-based pricing. So let me just pop onto school a sec, because I want to come into here. We have a whole lesson on here on pricing. There's a whole dedicated lesson on pricing your services, but there's a small part in here that I want to share with you. So let me just make. It was okay. So the keynote. You're in charge of your pricing, which I'm sure you will know, but you should be the ones that dictate your pricing. This is just an exercise to help you. So can I full screen that? I'm not sure if you can see that diagram very well, but this is the price to value discrepancy, and I can't take credit for this. This is from Alex Hormozy, his book, $1 Million Offers, but it's really good, and it's really helped me with being able to price better and understand my value. Let me just highlight that for a second, just so you can see. Cool. So this here, basically, the less value that your product contains, or the less value your customers perceive your product, the more you drop. This, this is when they're either going to say no, or if you have an ongoing service, they're going to cancel. So that's kind of the idea of this diagram. But people buy something when they believe that the value that they're receiving is superior to the price. And that's what I've been trying to do with everything that I do. I just want my value to be super valuable. And now a lot of you might be comparing yourself to other agencies, other freelancers, and that's fine. And I'll touch on that in a second. But I want to make sure that whatever I'm pricing, and so do you want to make sure that whatever you're pricing, your ideal customer looks at that and thinks, wow, it only costs that much. That's the idea of this. And so ultimately, on the flip side, if someone believes that the value is below like the price that you're asking for, then, sorry, someone's calling me. If someone believes that the value is below the price that you're asking for, they just won't buy from you. And so you need to make sure that you are up here. Okay, you need to make sure the value is high in comparison to the price. That's the idea of this diagram. And now let me skip forward. So next, I was saying about making sure that you don't compare yourself to other businesses. I kind of get it that if you want to get a benchmark for what everyone else is pricing, then by all means go and have a look. But what you don't want to do is basically what this diagram is illustrating. And again, this is I haven't created this myself. This is just from what I've learned from Alex Hormozy, and I've found it really useful, which is why I've put it. This is in one of the lessons inside the Agency Alchemist. And essentially what it's saying is most people who price their services end up racing to the bottom. And the reason why is because they look at the market, they check what their competition is charging, they take an average price compared to everyone else and what they're charging. They'll go a little bit below that to look competitive. They'll try and deliver a little bit more value. And basically what's happening is you are delivering more value, but devaluing yourself. So you're delivering more value, pricing lower than you should be, and it's a race to the bottom. When in fact, what you should be doing is hiring your value and hiring your price, but you just still want the value to completely outweigh the price that it is that you're charging. So let me just come out of here. So for me, when people come to my site, what I'm doing here is you'll see I'm mentioning what they're going to get, everything that's included, making it really clear. They get a website, 10 pages, it's going to be optimized, the hosting's included, blogs included, you don't have to pay more for the blog. They get a strategy call, they get our 30-point testing system, they get rounds of revisions, they get post-launch email support. Okay, this is all things that people or other agencies might charge more for, or they might have hidden costs. But also we have some what we've called free resources, which I know that other freelancers, web designers and stuff won't be doing. So things like helping them write their copy, whether we're writing their copy or they're writing their copy, we give them bespoke guides to help them do that. We have image collections that they can tap into. We have access to Adobe stock, which they can tap into, and we don't charge them more for that. It's included in the package, as you've put there. And also we give them an introduction to an SEO course. We train them to be able to manage their own SEO if they want to. And that's included in the website price. And it's a product that we've built out once, and so we now offer it. And the biggest piece of advice, and again, I've learned this from Alex Hormozy, and it's kind of a no-brainer really. The biggest piece of advice is when you're building websites, or you've had to create something bespoke for a customer and you feel like that this could be used for many other customers, repackage it and then give it out for free with any future customers, okay? Because this is how you start to become more valuable. Now, going back onto pricing, so if anyone that's just tuned in, we're actually answering this question. So this is for someone who posted a comment on my YouTube, and they want to know how they price for pages, how they price how can they price when they have multiple templates or pages, and they're currently charging $30 per page. So if this was like a 10-page site, it would be like $300, which I think is still super low. You need to remember that yes, you might be thinking that many other people can do this. Tools are now really accessible, but you need to appreciate what you are delivering. You're delivering a product and a service. You are helping a business owner have a better online presence, maybe convert more customers, maybe make some more money. You are saving them time, you are saving them stress. All of these things, that is valuable. And you need to appreciate that just because you don't believe your website or product is valuable doesn't mean that it's not. So this is why I say understand the value, and I've just gone through that. And so how do you price? You got value-based pricing, and you've got package pricing. And honestly, I think maybe the best way for me to explain this is just to come back to here. Let me just pop that back. So high prices equals high value. Honestly, the higher you price, the more is like a perception. So the more that you price, the more people will perceive it being valuable. Okay, if you're underpricing yourself, if you're charging $300 for a 10-page custom website, they're going to see that you don't value your own work. So why would they value you? That's kind of the point here. Anyway, ways of charging: you've got hourly, you've got per project, and you've got monthly retainer. So we go into those during this video. But value-based pricing is something that I want to touch on. So this is what I did in the early days. So this is what I used to do when I got started. And guys, I'm just trying to get used to this software. My face keeps disappearing. Let me just hide that again. I will get to your questions in a sec, guys. Promise. Bear with. So this was the best way for me to earn more revenue. Okay. Basically, you need to price based on the value that you bring in a business. And the way that you can do this is by understanding how you bring value to a business. And we have lessons in the Agency Alchemist, and all the people that I help mentor, we go through exercises where you can start to appreciate why people buy websites, what value do you bring, and how that, in terms of money, is beneficial to a business. The easiest thing would be, okay, if I build a website, I reckon it would increase your business by 50%. What's your annual revenue? What is your projected annual revenue over the next 12 months likely to be? And I'll charge you a small percentage of that. So that would be the easiest way to do it. So I've got a couple of examples here. So if you're struggling to work this out, work out on average how much value you bring a customer by figuring out what painful problems you're solving. And again, within this community, I've got lessons and resources on how you can figure out what your ideal customer's painful problems are and how you can position yourself as a solution. The best thing you can do is look at the value you've delivered to previous customers. So all the websites that you've built in the past, why did your customer want it? What value has it brought them in terms of, has it solved a problem? What was that problem? How were they feeling beforehand? What were they feeling before, and how are they feeling now? Okay, think about those, and that's going to allow you to start to appreciate what you're worth and what your solution's worth. So for example, maybe you generate an extra 200 leads in a year. So your website that you've built them, people are not leaving it as much. For example, more people are picking up the phone and calling them. Maybe more people are submitting inquiry forms, and they're getting an additional X amount of leads within a year. And an example here is 200 leads. Let's say each lead is worth $250 to the customer. So you can then start to work that out. What's 250 times 200? And then you could take a small percentage. Or the online store that you deliver generated them an extra $120,000 in revenue within 12 months, or is expected to, then you could take a small, or charge a small percentage of that. Maybe, as I've already said, the value doesn't come by way of revenue. It comes by way of saving time, stress, and that says embarrassment. So there's other ways that a website can be valuable. But here we've got, oh, where is it? So here's a quick value-based formula. So I would say that the price equals the value times 5% to 10%. So I don't know if you can see this here. I'm sure you can. So let's say that you're getting started and you bring them extra 50k revenue, and you want to charge 0.05. So it's £2,500 for a website. Boom. Let's say it's a bigger brand and you bring them 100,000, charge 5%, it's £5,000. Maybe you can charge them 10% because you're kick-ass now and you've done a bunch of websites. You know, that's how you charge 10 grand. Or if it is a smaller site, maybe smaller business, you can again still charge them five grand using this formula. So that's the idea here. And you know, in some instances, if you go all in on this method, let's say that you're working with a multi-million-dollar brand and you know their new website is going to bring them in like 250k, and you want to take 10% of that, boom, that's going to be 25 grand. Boom. So you can start to see using this formula alone. This is kind of responsible, but when you see people charging £2,000, £5,000, £10,000, £20,000, £50,000 for a website, it's because they're using this value-based formula. They know how much value they know their worth, essentially, and that's what you need to understand, is knowing your worth. I've got a snippet in here around one sec. Pricing using packages. So you can see that this is what we do now. So the reason why I do this, and it's really valuable, is it clearly defines what the customer is going to get, and it's definitely beneficial when I've got someone that takes care of sales calls. It's easy for them to kind of just price. It's easy for us to put pricing on the website, and we're not hiding behind anything. And so that's why we use package-based pricing, and I did show an example on my site. Feel free to go and check out my site if you wish. But yeah, that's pricing. So any of you that is pricing per page, what you could do is you could have a fixed fee for say up to 5 pages, like I have. Mine is up to 10 pages. But what I did do, and actually I think I've got an example here. Bear with. So actually within this presentation, I've got an example of my older style pricing. So custom website the base rate was £2,500. And so what that would do is it would give them up to 5 pages. So home, about, service, library or archive page, like all the services, single service template, and contact page, £2,500. And when we design this, we need to design the home page, and we might do 1 or 2 internal pages for the custom design before they sign it off, and then we build it. And using Elementor, like, it's so easy and quick. But let's say they wanted 10 pages. They didn't quite want the enterprise one because they didn't need everything else that come with it, and it wasn't like a super large site. But they wanted a custom, fairly basic site, and they wanted 10 pages in total, because not only did they want a service page, they also wanted the blog, and they also wanted a portfolio, which would include like a single portfolio item. Maybe they wanted a page full of testimonials, whatever, but they needed 10 pages. We would then charge them an extra, I think it was £200. It was £200 per additional page. So if they wanted an extra 5 pages, we would charge an extra £1,000, which then became £3,500. Right, which is why now with our pricing, we've just set it as £3,500. And the reason being, you can see £3,500, they get up to 10 pages. And the reason why we do that is because we've got all of this value added in it already. Okay, they get so much with this. We want them to look at it and think, you know what, that's still a really good price. So that's that. Hopefully that's answered your question around pricing. So let me just go and check out the questions. So thanks for patience. Any questions you got, pop it in the chat. I'm in here for a few more minutes. I specifically came on to talk about pricing. So what's this? Let's have a look. I'm just starting out my own software development agency, and I would like to know how much do you think I should charge for a personal website, an e-commerce website, and a multi-store e-commerce web? So hopefully, if you've just stuck around and watched this, you start to maybe think about what you could charge. Pricing's really difficult because it's not my job to say you need to charge X amount. I want you guys to charge your worth, and for you to do that successfully, you need to know your worth, right? And you're going to be worth way more than you think you are. But so, like a personal website, let's say it's up to 5 pages. What's your process if you're designing? Okay, think about this. Think about the end-to-end process when you're pricing for your projects, because it's not just delivering a website, right? The website is such a small part of the whole process. You've got the communications with the customer, you've got the emails, you've got onboarding, any meetings that you've got the design, you've got the feedback, the revisions, you've got implementing those revisions and getting more feedback. Then you've got the build, okay? Then you might have additional plugins that you need to install. You might have a subscription that you might need to pay for on an ongoing basis in order for you to build your site. Like, for example, I was lucky enough to get Elementor for $200 a year. I need to factor that in like the cost. It's only a small amount, but all of these things that you don't think about, you need to factor all of that stuff in, okay? And so why could you not be charging a few £1,000s for a personal website? I don't see why you can't, as long as you portray the value enough and you're making it feel like the value that the customer is getting outweighs the price. You can absolutely do that. E-commerce website. I think if I don't do many e-com websites. I'll be completely honest. I service more the home industries these days, but there's no reason why you can't be charging minimum £5,000 for an e-com store. Okay, and a lot of it's template driven anyway, and so you don't really have to produce all that many pages. You just produce the template pages. I know a lot in terms of the settings and the product management and that sort of stuff that, again, you might not be thinking about when you're building the site, which is why I would probably say off the top of my head, start at like 5k. So hopefully that answers that. I'm not sure what you mean by like in multi-store ecom web, but no worries. So you like my website? Looks nice and clean. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. I've tried to keep it fairly clean. Cool. So this might be off topic, but I recently signed on client in the mobile storage sheds niche to help get more traffic. I'm lost on what to do. Do I start with existing keywords or competitors' keywords? What do you mean by existing keywords? Are you talking about, do you start with the keywords that they think that they're ranking for or want to be ranking for? Or do you start with competitors' keywords? Mate, I'd go with, take both of them and go through like keyword research. So you're right, this is off topic. Bear with. Let me just load Ahrefs. Right. Cool. So a couple of ways you can do this. Google. So keyword research. I always ask the customer what it is that they think that they want to rank for. What is it that they think that customers are searching to find them? They might already have this answer if they are getting traffic. Maybe or hopefully they've got analytics installed. Hopefully they've got Search Console installed. But if you're kind of trying to work out keywords, do keyword research. And the reason why I've got Google loaded here is because it's like one of the best tools, in my opinion, to find what people are searching for if you don't have like a keyword explorer tool like Ahrefs. So let's go, what should we search for? Mobile storage. Mobile storage. So here we go. We've got mobile storage units. That could be a keyword. Mobile storage trolley. Do they do that? I'm not sure. Storage cabinet. Great. Storage systems, great. You can add this to your keyword list. Storage box, containers, solutions, rack. Boom, you've got a bunch of keywords there, right? Then go a step further and say, let's say that we wanted to get all of these, write them down, and then we would add a location modifier. So I don't know where they're based. They probably only serve a certain like radius unless they're shipping them all around or nationally. Apologies, I don't know where you're based. So let's say we were just going to go like London, and then we would add that keyword. You could even go with sheds. So we can have shed felt, shed base. You could probably have shed near me, shed Exeter, which is where I live. But basically what you're trying to do is build a list of keywords. So you can come to like a tool like this, shed storage, what was it? Mobile storage. And again, remember, you're doing your own research here as well as taking the customers and taking, I'm trying to move my mouse, bear with, just trying to move that. So you're taking your customers, you're taking competitors as well. And so what you would do is for competitors, mobile shed storage near me. I don't know what it's going to come back with. Let's just take this one, for example. Let's say that this was one of their competitors. I'm just going to grab that. I know for a fact that's not a shed storage company. Sheds.co.uk. Perfect. So you go through here, add your keywords, and if I just search United Kingdom or United States, it will come back with what is a good keyword or not. Mobile storage, I probably spelled that wrong. Yeah. Anyway, keyword difficulty, it's medium. Search volume is pretty high. You probably say, yeah, cool, we're going to go after that. And you go through that list and decide whether you're going to go after them or not. But you've also got search suggestions. So additionally, like a tool like this would say, well, you want to rank for these lots of keywords. How about all of these? And you'd go through this list and be like, yep, that looks like a good fit. Yep. Add them. Off you go. With regards to competitors, for anyone that doesn't know how to do this already, you would just go like to here, for example, Site Explorer, put it in, wait for a tool like Ahrefs to just quickly crawl it. And then bam, these have got like 21,000 keywords that they're ranking for. Click on those. And we're going to be able to see all of the keywords that they're ranking for. So you can do that. You can look at the competitors. But the reason why I'm saying do all of this is because you need to build a definitive list. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Build your own definitive list. Go through the exercise of trying to work out whether it's worth going after. Is the volume high enough? Is the keyword difficulty low enough? And then decide, yes, we are going to go after that. If it's high difficulty and super high volume, I'd still go after it. If, let's go down here, for example, just search by keyword difficulty. So like some of these, if it was really high difficulty and really low volume, you just wouldn't try and rank for those. So you want to go after, you basically want to go after the opposite. You want to go after low difficulty, high volume. So like that's got no volume, that's got no difficulty. Average volume, you'd be like, yeah, maybe we create a page on that. Great. This one, probably not. I'll leave it up to you, but that's what I would do anyway. Cool. What else we got? When you say this, I now think I'm too cheap and not yet get a client. Yeah, honestly, value perception is crazy. It's like Apple versus Samsung. If you buy an Apple phone or an Apple product, they're way more expensive than like Samsung. And so you kind of feel like you're getting a better product when actually they're just the same. It's just value perception. So if you do higher your prices, people will look at that and think, wow, why are you that expensive? You must be doing a good job. Okay. They're the type of customers that you want to be working with. You don't want to be working with the ones that come to you and say, well, actually, the guy down the road said they'd do it for half the price. Can you come down? You're just like, no, go there, and chances are they'll come back later. Cool. Patrick Spiegel, how's it going, man? How's my Wednesday? Pretty good. I need to finish soon. I just quickly wanted to jump on live to answer the pricing question, which I did at the beginning. But yeah, how's yours, man? Going well? R83, hey Tristan, hey man, I hope you're doing well, buddy. Oh, you got a question as well. How can I know that I choose a bad niche? Asked yesterday the same question for Dean White, and he did not properly answered. How do I know that you've chosen a bad niche? Yeah, good question. I'd probably say that if you've had or there's three things that I say that you need to have in a niche. One, do you enjoy it? Are you interested in it? Two, is there enough volume in the sense that is there enough of that business type around? And three, do they have money? Okay, is there money within that niche? If all three of those is yes, chances are you've got a good niche. So I'd probably look at that and think, if any of those are a no, you might have a challenging niche in some way or another. It's crazy because there's I'd almost say sometimes there's not even, I don't even know if there is a bad niche. It's often bad offers that you bring to a niche that is the problem. So it does depend on what your offer is as well. Yeah, if those three things, if you don't enjoy it, if you're struggling to find businesses within that niche, or you're finding that you're having countless conversations with people in that niche and they can't afford the prices that you want to be charging, you might have a bad niche. But it might just be that you need to switch up what it is that you're offering and bring it to that niche. Whatever niche that you're in, you need to work out what do they want. Okay. So work out although I just did a live 2 days ago, I think, on niching. So hopefully that helps. And there's a resource in there as well. So go and check that out. Hopefully that answers your question. What have we got? On my web design websites, I do not have a pricing page. I'm planning on pricing my websites depending on the client's needs. I've stated this in the FAQs. What's your thoughts on this method? Yeah, it works fine. And I did it for a long time. Loads of other people do it as well. Ultimately, if you're going to go down the route of value-based pricing, you need to have a conversation with the end business owner anyway to work out what problems they're facing for you to solve and how painful those problems are. The more painful they are, the more valuable your solution is going to be to them, the more that you can charge. That's the way that you should be looking at pricing. You can state that in your FAQs, yes, for sure. But yeah, I think that's fine. The reason why I put my pricing on my website is because I had people coming to me and they were time wasters. So I don't do an awful lot of outbound these days. I've got a lot of people coming to me because my website traffic is good enough and the website is set up to draw people in. But I was getting people coming to me, booking calls, submitting inquiries, and wasting my time. So that's why I've been transparent with my website and my pricing, because if people are shopping and they're looking at me and they're looking at a competitor, and I have the pricing on my website and the competitor doesn't, and all they want is really a price at this moment, I still have a chance of getting that sale if I'm within that price point, rather than if I didn't have the pricing and they're just looking for a price, they might not want to give me a call. They might not want to book a call and things like that. So it's kind of a combination of getting rid of the people that were non-fit and allowing myself to be transparent enough to attract those that are shopping, and when they're ready to take action, they will come back and take action. Next question, second question is, I can speak English, but I don't feel confident to sell outside Brazil. It's possible to make profits even with this bad currency. Do you know what? I'd love to say yes, but actually I don't have the answer. I don't see why it wouldn't be possible to make profit. Profit comes to, profit is your revenue take away your expenses. So if your expenses are low, you should still have profit. So I don't see why you can't do that. You just might need to, if your English isn't great and you're not confident, you might just need to like stick to email outreach or social media outreach or going on to like Upwork and finding people on there. It's certainly possible for sure. I do not want to lie. All I want to know, how do I get my first client? Right, I don't want to lie. All I just want to know is how I get my first client. Have I missed something? Yeah, I don't understand that. Why would you lie? What are you lying about? Never lie. Always be honest. Like, I don't know where you are in your journey. If you're right at the beginning, oh, well, you are because you haven't got your first client. You're gonna have to price lower. Like that's probably the best way, and it comes down to value. If you haven't served any or many customers before, you don't know what value you've been able to bring them. Sure, I can tell you what I think that you can bring them, but you need to understand that and you need to know that. And so once you know that, then be honest. Okay, so have a think about what you think that you can bring them. Have a think about what you know you can bring them, what value you can bring them, and then price based on that. And if you know, it's all about conviction and the way that you say things. If you are like just cool as a cucumber and be like, yeah, we are going to do that for you, it only costs, you know, $1,000 for a simple website, they're going to be like, yeah, okay. But if they then come back and say, well, have you got examples of work? You could then just say, well, like full transparency, I don't have any portfolio items that I'm able to share. But what I could do, if that's a problem, I could reduce the rate on this occasion, and in return for you allowing me to put this in my portfolio and giving me a testimonial. Okay, there's certainly ways around it. So Ogondar, I'm going to butcher your name. That's a crazy long name. Ogundar. Thank you so much. I really like the heads up on pricing and placing value on your products and yourself as well. Thank you. You are welcome. I'll be happy on that then. I'll stress about how to price higher later. Yeah, man. 5K for an ecom website. I'm going to be doing ecom websites and was planning on pricing at around 2K, but I'm just starting out. Then cool, like price your first one at around 2K. Like the thing is, if you're just getting started, price lower, get the experience, understand your value, price higher as you go along. Experience gains, pricing gets higher. It's like a chart. Whoop. Start at 2K. Start even like a little bit lower if you need to. I can't remember I can't remember what I priced my first ecom project at, but it certainly wasn't much. Like I worked for free when I got started just so I could get experience. I'll just start by charging high and then market myself that way. That is after I get one cheap client for a portfolio. Cool. Yep. Thanks, Tristan. Have a nice day. Thank you, mate. Have a nice day too. I like that price on my website that I'm working on. Nice. Right. Any more questions? Drop them in. While I'm here, guys. Like if you want more help, if you want me to help you with this, like literally hold your hand and guide you through it. Like I'm here to do so. Just click the barcode at the top for the mentoring program. It's only a small monthly subscription. You can cancel anytime, and like we can build your business together. We'll do it together. So if you want me to do this with you, click the link, click the barcode. Monthly subscription, really cheap, and you can do this in a cohort. You can do this with me. You can do this with a group of other people that are in the same position. Share ideas. There's loads of people in there that have done really well already. So yeah, that's what I definitely recommend if you're looking for more support and mentorship. But what's the time? It's 1:45. I'm going to shoot, but I will be releasing a dedicated video on pricing, I think, very soon, just so you can continue to think about the way that I think about pricing now, because I'm guaranteed there's so many things that you're not considering when pricing that you should be considering. Like the whole project journey is people are buying a service and a product, but they are buying everything that comes with that product. Cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for being here, and I'll be live again very soon. Have a good day. Bye.